All right, welcome back to the Briones Pickleball Podcast. It's your host, Jordan Briones, and today, like always, I have our co-host, Caden Nemoff.
What? Let's go.
Yeah, so new episode today. We have a lot to cover. PPA, Red Rock, a lot of paddle controversies.
More
tensions flaring on women's side and men's, and the mixed. And there's just a lot of things going on. Stay tuned. We're going to obviously do our strategy tips, and we're going to read some questions. People send their questions in, and we're going to be answering those pickleball questions and doing the best we can with that.
Heck yeah.
Caden, how are you doing, man? What's new with you?
What's new with me? Well, I have a ticket that I need to pay for tomorrow.
And this is not like a concert ticket we're talking about.
No, this is a ticket that I got from a cop.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But besides that, no, nothing really new. It's, just living the life of a pickleball player and instructor and I guess podcaster as well. So, we're just out here living our best lives. And, we got a lot of good info for you guys today.
Dude, I'll tell you what, sometimes I have to continually remind myself about this.
Oh, yeah.
But what we do, man, it's a lot better than other things.
It's a luxury for sure.
So, I mean, we get to play a sport we love. We get to teach a sport we love. And we get to talk about a sport we love.
Pretty blessed, man. Pretty blessed.
So, hashtag blessed on that one. We're going to get right into it. Strategy tip of the week. I'm going to start this time.
Bingo. I was going to say the same thing.
Okay. And then just really quick, timestamps in the video. We work really hard. If you just want to skip to a certain thing and you don't have time to watch the whole full podcast, just check the description and click what you're interested in. But
I will say, my mom always said patience is a virtue. So if you guys watch the whole damn thing, my applause is for you guys. But like Jordan said, there are timestamps. So
yes. Yeah. So and then if you do want to send pickleball questions about pickleball in general or strategy or whatever that you would like us to answer here on the podcast, we have a form that you can fill out below. And also, if we right now are looking for just uplifting, encouraging, amazing pickleball stories, there's a form also below in the description. So if you know somebody that has a really amazing story, we would definitely love to share it here on the podcast. We're going to share a few today later on in the show. So my strategy tip, Caden, of today is going to be when you are hitting your third shot drop.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of people, like to aim a really, really high, a lofty third shot into the non-volley zone.
Yep.
So just a simple tip today. My tip for your third shot drop is to lower your trajectory and aim for the non-volley zone line.
Yeah.
So super, super simple. I think that when most players start, especially all around everywhere where you're playing, where, they're usually taught, okay, any drop that I hit
has to go in the kitchen.
Yep. And if I'm practicing my third shot drops, as long as it lands in the kitchen, it's like check, right. Okay, that's good. But obviously at higher level play, that's not the case. And I just want, I want everyone to be free from hitting their drops in the non-volley zone.
Yep.
It doesn't have to land in there. Just before I say anything else, your thoughts on that tip?
No, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think it's one of the biggest myths in pickleball. Like when you're a kid and your parents say, don't go outside when it's cold and your hair is wet because you'll get sick. It's the same thing as that, all right? Because when you hit that ball in the kitchen, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that was a good third shot drop. And I think I would say when we both learned how to play pickleball, we were told hey, that drop has to go in the kitchen. Yeah. And if it's not in the kitchen, you're not good at pickleball.
All right, pet peeve. Pet peeve alert.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hear this all the time. Thank you. Actually, I thought of something.
Yeah.
If you're teaching pickleball, or if you're seeing pickleball get taught and you're practicing your third shots to land in the kitchen, that is incorrect.
Absolutely.
I see coaches teach that all the time. Okay, what are we going for? We're going for the ball to land in the non-volley zone. So that's not correct. So Caden, when we're hitting good third shots or practicing them, what are you telling your students, or what should they be going for?
You aim for the feet, folks. You aim for those feet.
All right.
Okay? And I'll tell you why. Is because if you hit it to their feet, they have no other option than to hit the ball up.
There you go.
All right? So whether they take that ball in the air or off the bounce, they can't hurt you.
Well, they can hurt you a lot less.
A lot less.
Yeah.
No.
So,
well, right.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
the lower the ball is, the
right.
less and less they can hurt you.
Absolutely, right? Now, obviously, if they were to take a step back, yes, they're going to get a ball that's going to rise up and they're going to be a little bit more offensive. But what that also gives you is more time to get yourself up to the kitchen line, right?
There you go.
And on top of that, they're still going to have an upward motion, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
think about it.
Okay. Caden, great. So, folks, your goal on your third shot drop should not be for that ball to land in that non-volley zone. The goal for the third shot is to force an upward swing.
Yep.
And the way we can do that is hitting towards that non-volley zone line and or feet. Caden Nemov, let's jump into your strategy tip of the week.
Yep. All right. Mine is actually, well, I'd say it's close to as simple as yours. But
Okay.
when you guys are playing, this is for my lower level beginners who don't really know, how to hit that ball with, location and being a little bit more precise with where you're trying to hit the ball. But if you guys don't necessarily know where you're hitting the ball, you're just trying to hit the ball over the net.
Mm-hmm.
Use your paddle face and use your follow through as your form of location. All right?
Like
because if you guys actually set up your paddle to where you're trying to go and send your paddle and follow through your paddle to where you're trying to go, I guarantee you it'll probably happen. All right? And I tell my students this a lot. Wherever your paddle face and your follow through goes, most of the time, that ball is going to follow it.
Yes.
Right? That ball and that paddle are best friends. They like to stick together, which means if you send that ball over here when you were trying to send it there, you're in big trouble.
Yeah. Caden, actually really, really good tip.
Oh, thank you.
So I don't know if you've heard of this one. Kind of comes from, I'm going to adjust it, but kind of like a tennis thing. And for all those you listening, maybe I coin it now for pickleball, but think about this. The paddle face sends it and the swing path bends it.
Ooh. That is trademarked by Jordan Briones.
Thank you. So, in reality, when we hit the ball, wherever that paddle is angled at that time of the moment of contact,
Yeah,
that's where the ball is going to go.
for sure.
Now, when we talk about top spin, underspin size, any kind of spin, that's where it's going to go, where it hits the paddle. But that swing path is going to determine how that ball bends.
Spins and moves. Yep.
So if you want to just keep things really, really simple, you can not hit with or choose to not hit with any top spin or any other spin like that. We can just lift or push the ball for those beginners. And if you're struggling with controlling the ball, just think about that, like where your paddle's facing during contact. And to keep things really simple, let's keep your swing path just right towards your target, like you said.
Yeah.
So really, really good tip. Any last thoughts on that, Caden?
No. Think about it though, folks. I mean, both these tips that we gave you guys today are simple, but they're easy fixes. All right.
Yeah.
So, I think what happens a lot to pickleball players is we tend to kind of black out and kind of forget what we're doing, and we just play because we want to win.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the highest level, I'm not really thinking too much about what I'm doing, but where I'm trying to send my ball to still. All right. And you guys should be thinking the same thing. If you guys are playing and you guys aren't thinking about what you're trying to do, you guys aren't really accomplishing or anything or getting better in any way. And so that's why you hear people say drilling is so much better than playing games if you're trying to get better, because when you drill, it's not so much about winning, it's about working on your game. Whereas when you play, people just go, I just want to win.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're thinking about what you're doing while you're playing, you are progressing. You just have to kind of realize what you're trying to do with your shots and,
Yeah, so on that, actually, how I do the 2-day intensives.
Yeah.
This last one, so nice lady, and her husband came. Great time, by the way. But one of the things I was trying to tell her, because when we do a lot of drills, we're working on technique, strategy, footwork, and then we play some matches that we record.
Yeah.
Right? And then so that I can later on break it down and stuff. During those matches, she didn't. I'm not saying she didn't play the best, but she lost some of the games, and she was really frustrated at losing. But I was trying to tell her, we're working on a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
And this is the main thing I said. Like, for right now, especially in trainings like this, let's not focus on the W.
Yep.
But let's actually focus on making the right decisions. So
Right.
a lot of them, like let's say, so one of the biggest ones, we're trying to get players more into a reset mindset in transition.
Yep.
Especially when the ball's low, below their waist. A lot of times in the very beginning of the intensive, they're just
hitting it,
hitting
right.
the ball. But there was really good success made during the intensive on resets.
Yeah.
But sometimes they would try a reset and then lose a point.
Right.
Right? And then because of that, they would just start attacking again.
Right.
And then again, but they're trying to focus on more of maybe winning a point as opposed to
working on what we just practiced.
Yeah, let's just work on what we just did so that you can implement that into your game.
No, for sure.
So, and I understand, I mean, it's actually really tough as a competitor, especially when you go out to rec play and stuff. You're going to have to find a balance between, do you want to continue to do the bad things, bad habits that you do, and also make the wrong decisions, or just try to win?
Right.
Right. So, and that's why, again, like what you said, Caden, like drilling is super important because we can kind of get that out and make our mistakes in drilling.
Yeah, right. People aren't afraid to make mistakes in drilling. People are, for some reason, afraid to make mistakes when you play. So, you got to realize that a rec game doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
Right? If I beat you in a rec game, Jordan, all I get out of that is bragging rights and possibly free lunch. All right. Now, yes, I get it. If you're betting on free lunch, sure, I get it. Winning is good. But also at the same time, I would much rather you lose the game and play pickleball correctly and feel like you played well than have you kind of just swinging at the ball and saying, oh, well, hey, I won.
Yeah. So it's about progress, and that's just a tough thing. But for those of you who are working on your game, again, set aside the time to work on it and drill. We'll actually leave a link in the description so that you can sign up for a drill workout routine that we made. But just in general, make sure you set aside time for practicing your game so that you're not always pressured to just win all the time in rec.
Yeah. Practice how you play, folks.
There you go.
Boom.
Now we're going to hop right into your questions. So if you would like to send a pickleball question in, again, there's a link in the description to do that. We have a few questions from our listeners here. First one. And again, if you're going to send it in and you would like us to shout out your name and where you're from, send your name in.
We can do that
as well.
We can do that.
So by anonymous.
Okay.
Jordan and Caden.
Oh, hi.
How do I handle persistent lobbers? This is going to be a good one. The ones that hit the lob more than 50% of their shots. Mostly too deep for an overhead, return. Reset drops in the kitchen, return with a lob. My return with a lob met with another lob. I know it's a little confusing, but we'll break it down.
Yeah.
Because my returns of these lobs usually leave me in an unset position, my drives are ineffective. I am at a loss of options. That is tough. That is tough.
That is tough. Yeah, that's really tough.
So, actually, before I even break anything down, your thoughts on the question and any advice?
Yeah. So if you, I don't know, it's tough, right? Like, obviously, I could give you two types of answers on this. I would say one, the first answer is maybe just don't play with them. Obviously, that's not a very helpful answer, but actually, believe it or not, I would say always stick it out with whoever you are playing with, because believe it or not, when you go into a tournament, you can never assume that people are going to play pickleball correctly. All right?
Well, not correctly, just
but
a different way.
Or a different way, right? Now, I would not personally say lobbing every single ball is correct, but that's how people play it, and that's how it's going to be sometimes, right? Like, I have played people even at the pro level, and I'm kind of like, what's going on here? But you know what? If it works for them, it works for them.
You know what?
Right? So
Before you hop in,
yeah.
quick story, just so I don't forget. I was playing at the U.S. Open.
Ooh.
Shout out to FAD, Frank Anthony Davis, with Frank.
You were playing with Frank?
I was playing with Frank, 19 plus. I
Interesting.
believe it was 19 plus. This was years ago. Against Tyler Leung, Kaching Leung, and his partner, who I can't remember right now. We were either tied or up in that game to 15.
Yeah.
It was about, seriously, 25 mile per hour winds.
Oh my gosh.
It was tough.
That sounds like Florida, though.
Yeah. Tyler Leung. Love to have you on the podcast, by the way, Tyler. Message me. And his partner started throwing like this. Like at a pro level, dude, they started lobbing us. And it was so windy. Dude, we ended up losing that game. And it was like, I was, it was actually pretty frustrating after that.
Right.
Obviously things happen so fast.
Yeah, right.
But two things I can say. Number one, I was frustrated how I didn't respond the best to like making making adjustments.
Right.
And number two, I wasn't mad at them for lobbing. It's actually a good strategy. It's actually what got them back into the game, and they ended up winning.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like whiffing, dude. Like the winds were. So again, even going back to that, like I had to. So two things I could have done differently: lob them back,
right,
literally,
yeah.
Or just stay back, kind of in transition or midcourt, and then just letting the balls bounce. Like don't even take overheads because it was so windy. So, anyways, those are the two adjustments. But I'm just trying to tell everyone here. You know, Tyler Leung, you guys know he's a pro player, but even back then, like at pro levels, at times, sometimes it's strategically good to lob, and it can get you back into games.
It really can.
So we have to learn how to deal with it. But again, back to sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But back to this guy's question: what are some like actual tips that you have for them when they
well, the first one, you already mentioned it, but you don't have to play right up on that line if they're going to try and lob you every time, right? I would say, make sure your body is a little bit more upright so you're a little bit more ready for the ball to go over you, right? And of course, I mean, you can play 2 or 3 steps off that kitchen line, so if they do lob you, you're a little bit quicker there.
Yep.
My second tip is watch your angle to getting and retrieving the lob, right? I can't tell you how often I see people, kind of just watch it or they start to kind of run straight towards the ball. If you guys are going to run for that ball, right? Let's say I'm here and that ball is here. I'm not going to run straight towards it. I'll take a little bit of an angle at it so I can get my body around that ball and behind that ball. So now I can either reset for a drop or who knows, maybe even a drive if I want to feel a little crazy, who knows, but how you take an angle to the ball is really, really important too when you guys are tracking down lobs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless you guys can hit tweeners, then you guys might probably want to take an angle at that ball. Yeah,
really good stuff, Caden. 2 things I'm just going to add to that.
Yeah.
Number one, at lower levels, you're going to see this. So I can tell the frustration with this question here, because we see, I mean, we can show up to random courts and we see this.
Yeah.
So number one fix that I thought you were going to say, but this is not a good solution, but this is a solution that you need, is work on your overheads.
Yep.
Number one. So, and overhead footwork, right?
Yep.
The stronger your overheads get, the less they're going to lob.
It's true.
Because they're going to get punished for it.
It's true.
So the number two thing that I think about is obviously mobility. Mobility is a big issue. If you're older or not, or less mobile, this is a really tough situation. So just like Caden said, you can play off the line. These are times that you may have to do that. And strategically, yes, in a perfect world, you want to be up at that line, but you have to like make adjustments. We all, even at the highest level, we all make some adjustments.
Yeah.
So number three is keep as many balls as you can to the backhand side.
Yeah.
As many as you can.
I like that.
The players that continually lob, just from data and from what I've seen and studied, they lob 95% of the time from the forehand side. A lot of people don't have the control.
You could say the same thing for attacks.
Yes. You don't.
Right.
Yep. They don't have the control on their backhand. So if you're going to try to drop it in or keep, whatever, try to keep it to the backhand. That's one thing you can do.
Get it here.
So, and yeah, that's it. And then my last one would be, as an option, give them a taste of their own medicine. No, seriously, and see how they do it.
Yeah.
If they're lobbing you continually, maybe you stay off the line or stay at the baseline.
Yeah.
And throw lobs back up.
How you like them apples?
Yeah, work on your lob and see how they do, and maybe, just maybe, that might frustrate them enough.
Yeah.
To think twice.
Well,
I
mean, I'll be honest. I'm very picky as an instructor about when my students are allowed to lob.
Yeah.
I see. Well, when I do teach lobs, the first question I ask them is, when is it okay to lob? And you know what all of them say?
What?
When I'm hitting a third shot. Now, you see it every now and then at the pro level, and it works every now and then, but that's also because we're not expecting it all the time. We usually are expecting a drive or a drop, right? So when we see a lob every now and then, it does catch us off guard, but that does not mean that what they're doing when they're hitting the lob as a third shot drop, they're doing it because they can't hit a third shot drop or a drive. It's because they're doing it on purpose, right? So a lob is really only okay if it's purposeful.
Yeah.
Right? Which means it's offensive, right? And personally...
Well, there's defensive lobs too. If you're scrambling.
Right.
And you're running.
Yes, right. I mean, there's defensive lobs, but you really don't want to be throwing up a lob if you're off the court or out of position. I mean, it might be the only option.
Yeah.
But if you can't get back to the court, by the time you throw that ball up, then what's the point, right? At the pro level, we can throw it up because we know that our hands are fast enough to take it.
Yeah.
But if you guys are going to lob, I would always like to say, try and make it as offensive as possible, right? Which means if all four players are up at the kitchen line, great. If you're in a good position where you have, good drops and you can hit a third shot lob, go for it. But I want my lobs to be offensive. I don't ever want to be lobbing because I'm like, oh God, I got nothing else, right? Because then it's just constant defense.
Well, and that's why most of the players that do lob in the rec world, we'll call it, they don't have a good drive and they don't have a good drop.
Right.
The lob is the easiest shot.
Yep.
So if that's you, if you're one of the lobbers, then I would encourage you to work on your drops and drives. If you are the one in the position where you're getting lobbed against, work on your overhead footwork and your overheads.
Yeah.
And those three suggestions that I had for you earlier, I would definitely keep those in mind. Okay. And again, the game is there's no limitations on what kind of shots people can hit. So you're gonna have to respond.
It's getting crazier.
You're gonna run into tournaments. You're gonna play against the lobsters, I call them.
Yeah.
You're gonna go into a tournament. You're gonna play against the bangers. Okay. We have to learn how to manage and and play against every kind of player.
Yeah, right. Every single tournament, you're gonna be playing against someone different, right? There's gonna be players that can do it all, and there's gonna be players that are gonna be one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional. Who knows?
Yeah.
But in the situation, if they don't play the way you are used to playing, that doesn't mean they're doing something wrong. That just means you have to make adjustments.
Yeah. So I'm actually glad this question because I forgot about that tournament that match.
Really?
I lost.
It's probably a good match to forget.
Yeah. No, but dude, it was actually a good learning experience.
Yeah.
And playing with Frank was fun. So
yeah.
All right. Next question here. I have been playing about 4 months.
Okay.
And have learned so much from your YouTube videos. So thank you.
Nice.
Oh, well, thank you. I have a question about when to advance to the non-volley zone when your partner is hitting their third shot. Some have told me to hang back and only advance when they advance. Would love your perspective.
Did they leave a name here?
Yeah, anonymous.
Oh, great. So Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, we actually just did this in our breakdown. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But
check it out. Watch our strategy breakdowns.
Yeah. In the breakdown that we do, you'll actually see me playing with a man named PLATEAU. And in those videos, you are going to see me detach from my partner. All right. Now, that does not mean that there's no one right answer, okay? So if someone is telling you hang back or someone's telling you move forward, that's not always correct, all right?
Okay,
so what I'm here to tell you is that in the situation that is given to you, if you are playing with someone that you know has good drives or good drops, then it is okay to detach.
Okay, explain that because people don't know.
All right.
Which means
if you are not the one hitting the third shot drop and your partner's hitting the third shot drop or the drive, you are more than welcome to move forward towards that kitchen line. Now, that doesn't mean you need to run forward, but you can kind of slowly kind of trot there and see if maybe they either pop one up in the middle for you to slam or you kind of just close a gap for them and kind of add pressure when you start to move forward, right? But the reason why you have to watch your partner's third shot drop or drive while you move forward is because, well, you need to see if that ball's going to be good or not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you know that your partner's third shot drop or drive is maybe not their strongest suit, then hey, maybe you do want to stick back a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But there's no right or wrong answer. It is purely based off of the situation. It's kind of like a speed up. You don't say, okay, I'm going to hit a speed up now. You have to look for the right ball and say, okay, this is the ball I want to speed up. I need to see what's going on with my opponent, with this ball, in order for you to hit your speed up. It's not just, I'm going to do the speed up now, and then you hit it, right? So I don't know. Would you want to add something on that?
Yeah, really good, Caden. So again, the question is, how do we advance as the partner of the person who's hitting their third shot?
Yeah.
Now, biggest key thing there, takeaway there, Caden, and I think is the main takeaway here is we need to assess the ball. We need to, watch our partner hit the ball and then quickly assess.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good points there. So, but just just at a basic level, we're either, after they hit their third shot, we're either going to be advancing or we're going to stay where we are generally.
Yep.
Right. So again, and here's the thing before even the drop, right? Because they can drive it.
Right.
And if you run up and the drive is high, you're going to get smashed at. If you run up on a high drop, you're going to get smashed at.
For sure. Yeah.
So biggest key things here. I'm just going to, we broke this down already, but high level play, you will see in higher level play, the partner of the player hitting the third shot will lead them in and detach, like Caden calls it. And again, this is to put a little bit pressure on that team and so that they can kind of get a head start. Right.
Yeah.
And then depending on what kind of shot they hit, they assess it from that position. Let's say they're 3 or 4 feet in, and then they can either choose to move in quick
Yeah.
Or they can hold their position, or if it's a really bad third, they can actually adjust their feet quickly behind the baseline. So I think that's the best approach. But just like Caden said, it's situational. It's totally situational.
Yep.
So for the players and for the coaches who say that you have to come in as a wall with your partner, okay, we do not see that at higher levels. And we're just going to zoom in on Caden's face right now.
That sentence genuinely hurts me.
Okay. So do not come in as a wall with your partner. I mean, at times you might, but that's not the goal. Okay. The goal is to quickly assess the shot being hit and then move accordingly to what you think you can handle. If you don't have good resets in transition, maybe you stay back.
Yeah.
Maybe you stay back. And then if you know you have good resets and you can handle the ball, even if it's a little bit high from your partner, then you're more confident into get to a good split step and get ready. So
for sure.
It's definitely situational. Great question. And then at lower levels, it's really tough. And so again, a lot of the people sending in questions are usually around that 3.0 to 4 range.
Right.
You don't know if your partner is going to hit a great drop or not.
It's true.
So
it's true.
you might want to stay back.
Yeah.
You might. So I would. Those are things I'm assessing.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's very much situational.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly said.
All right. So we'll get more into that, in another podcast. We'll break it down. But watch that strategy video. We'll also leave that or try to leave that in the description below. Strategy video we just did, or go on our channel. It's really good. Okay. Last question here from Anonymous again.
Oh, great.
How do I correct bad habits? I've been playing 2 years. I've never had any paddle or tennis training or racket training. I'm at a plateau and need to correct my bad habits. Now, I have a really good answer for this one.
I think I do too.
But Caden, why don't you answer that? So there's this guy. How do I correct bad habits? I've been playing 2 years. I have no training. I'm at a plateau. How do I correct my bad habits?
I personally would recommend the Jordan Briones 2-day intensive.
Nice, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Brought to you by Briones Pickleball. No, but I mean, I would say that's probably the most common thing in pickleball, right?
Yeah.
Is people like to create their own shots. All right. Now, there's no problem with that.
What does that mean, by the way? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, people like to windshield wipe and, change their grips and hit balls in different ways, and,
Got it.
or, that maybe they're not as mobile. So they, as soon as they stop their feet stop forever. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go wrong in pickleball. And I mean, we've talked about it before, but in pickleball, a lot of the times it's always the little things, right? So, if you are struggling with bad habits and you've noticed that it's stopping you from progressing, you're at that point where you now need to change it to the point and work on it to the point where when you go into doing it into a game, your mind doesn't think going back to that bad habit, but now you need to think going into that new habit, right? So it's really hard. I will say it's really, really hard. And I will be honest, I was very lucky getting into pickleball because I don't think I ever really created any major bad habits that held me back from pickleball because I had so many great people in pickleball like Jordan, like the famous Glenn Lucy. No, but I just had good people around me that knew what they were doing as far as technique and, and form and all that stuff. But that is something that's hard to break, right? I even me as a baseball player with no, tennis or racket background, it's not impossible to learn it. You just have to do it over and over and over. And over and over and over and over again. And over again. And over and over again. Yeah, and over again. And then you might, be able to get a little bit more comfortable with it. But I will say, practicing it the right way, right? Perfect practice makes progress. All right? perfect practice makes progress. You guys practice perfectly, and you guys will see improvement out of it. All right. I think people practice to become perfect. That's not actually possible.
Yeah.
Right?
We're all going to miss.
Yeah, right. But also, practicing incorrectly doesn't help you improve, which means you have to practice things the right way. And even if it feels uncomfortable and you miss the first 900 balls in the net, eventually you'll get it.
That'd be a lot of balls to miss.
That would be a lot of balls to miss. But I think that's just like the most common thing I see in like my clinics. Like people want to, or people find keeping the rally going is more important than working on their actual technique.
Yeah.
Right? So they're falling into their same old habits to try and keep the ball going instead of working on what I'm teaching them and maybe missing a few more balls, right?
Yeah.
Keeping that ball going, trying to win the point instead of focusing on your technique.
Okay. Really good. So my answer is, I don't know, 2 or 3-fold. We'll see how it pans out. But 2 things I think of soon as this question comes in. Number 1, how do I correct bad habits? That's basically, and he's hit a plateau.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you know what your bad habits are, work diligently on them, on changing them and working on the correct either technique or decision-making habit. Like the one I was talking to you about in transition, instead of just swinging all the time.
Yeah.
Try to reset. Now, secondly, which I think this is more important, I would say, I mean, all the people we coach here and all the people that's watching and listening online, 99% of players don't know what bad habit they are doing. They don't know.
It's true.
So at this point, you have one of 2 options. You know, when you don't know what you're doing wrong, you can either A, kind of like film yourself and then compare it. Like this is the only thing I could think of, and compare it to the pros and see side by side what's differently. But that's even really hard.
Yeah.
The second thing is to get a coach.
Yeah.
Or get somebody that can see you and analyze really well what you're doing wrong or incorrect, and then have them try to help you work on how to correct it.
Oh, for sure.
Now that's the biggest thing though. Most players do not know what they're doing wrong.
It's true. It's true. I said to take Jordan's 2-day intensive kind of as a joke. I kind of meant that.
Oh, thank you for kind of meaning that, bro.
No, I know. I meant that. Like, no, but that's, I mean, like a coach, I mean, well, the right coach can really help you out because they're going to see things that you don't really see.
Yes.
Right. And it's going to be as little as, your contact point. It's going to be as little as your follow through, as your swing speed. It's going to be your footwork. I mean, who knows? Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny, right? Like I did a group lesson yesterday where basically these players, they just wanted to play games with me, and they wanted me to kind of spot out things, right?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And someone was, after the lesson, was like, how are you able to watch us play while also playing? I said, man, I'm just that good. I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, in that lesson, right? I'm not really focusing on myself playing.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on what they're doing, right? So every time the ball is moving around, I'm watching them, and if I react late to a ball, so be it. I don't care about missing in this game, but what I do care about is having things that they're going to realize that they do in gameplay that and for them, they're not thinking about that when they're playing games. So they just wanted to do a lesson where we play games, and they get to kind of realize little tendencies or little habits that they have when they play games. Yeah. Right. So.
Yep. So as you're developing as a player, and again, like everyone, I mean, we all go through this. We'll all develop a bad habit or some bad habits throughout.
I've had bad habits in my life
throughout our career or whatever. One of mine, and just to share with everyone here, we play at the pro level, but there's stuff that we've all worked on as well. So one of mine, years ago, about 3-4 years ago, my contact point on my forehand drive specifically used to be fairly late. I actually, over the years, have moved my contact further and further out in front. And that was a bad habit from tennis.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
So obviously, if I had a better technique in my tennis, that wouldn't have been a problem, but I carried that over. So whether you're carrying something over from another sport or not, we all develop bad habits, and it took, some video for me to see myself and someone else to point it out. But yeah, just like what Caden said, if you don't really know, you want someone to actually shadow you and see. So a coach or maybe a local player that can maybe see something. But yeah, that's what we do here on this channel. We try to point out bad habits that players do. We try to see them and correct them. But it's really funny because even in my intensives or whatever, when I'm teaching, this is how players don't even, they almost have no clue of what's happening sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'll say, hey, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to shorten your backswing on this dink. Don't take it behind you.
Yep.
Okay? I'm going to show them exactly. And then you're just going to lift from here. Then I feed the ball and it goes right behind them. And then they do it. And then they ask me, so, did I do it? And I'm saying, did you see what you just, and they have no idea.
They have no clue what they did.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's just really, really tough to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, go get a good coach. If you're interested in a 2-day intensive training with me, that's what I do. I break down everything and I really, really give you the highest quality instruction that you can receive. And we work on all the aspects of your game. If you can't travel for that, again, Caden's going to be doing camps and clinics all over. Again, if you have a good amount of people and you want Caden to come out to you, go to our website, brionespickleball.com, and,
let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. All right. Let's give Caden let's give him some work. All right.
Let's go. I need to work around here, man. I can't tell my mom and dad that I do a podcast and that counts as work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, that was fairly long, but I hope you guys enjoyed those questions. I think we'll get better at answering these and maybe more precise.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to story time, and don't click off yet. Again, if you're watching, we're gonna get into paddle controversies. We're gonna get into the PPA Red Rock. There's so much stuff happening in the pickleball world. But now, before that, we're gonna jump into a short story. Hopefully this is uplifting and it inspires you. All right, here we go, Caden.
All right.
You ready for this?
I think so.
Just a few short years ago, I was depressed, severely overweight, and facing several medical problems. I had almost forgotten how to exercise. I tried the gym, but it was such a lonely place. I hated the way everyone around me wore headphones, oblivious to the person one machine over, and I'd go once or twice before quitting again. I tried running, but it lacked human interaction and was boring to me. Same thing with swimming. Not only did you have to put on a bathing suit for swimming, but you had to be seen in a bathing suit by others. I had played tennis competitively, and I knew how fit you had to be to cover that size of the court, and I certainly wasn't anywhere near that level. So my introduction to pickleball came at a local community center by a friend who begged me to try this sport. The facility catered to all ages and abilities, and the first time I stepped onto the court, I actually felt very welcomed. People were eager to explain the rules and see someone new experience the joy of the game. My 4 daughters watched with skepticism as I began my pickleball journey, convinced that I would give up just like I gave up on other things. But instead, I became addicted. I felt an overwhelming wave of relief the moment I picked up a paddle. I had finally found a form of exercise that I was going to enjoy. My first time out, I played 3 hours.
Wow.
And I never wanted the session to end. It was exhilarating. I hadn't felt that alive in years. I definitely paid for it the next morning when I could barely put one foot in front of the other. And I knew if I wanted to compete seriously, I needed to get into shape, to move around the court, to get some more balls. And I completely changed my diet and played religiously, and the pounds started to fall off. Every day, I'd get my fix, not only of volleying, dinking, smashing, but the warm, fuzzy feeling of being with friends who quickly felt like family. I met people around my own age, but also much older folk who became like surrogate parents. I played with kids the same age as my own kids. Together we drove, laughed, and got fit. It was the happiest I've ever been in my life. A year into my pickleball obsessed lifestyle, I went for my annual checkup, and my doctor was amazed to discover I had lost more than 100 pounds. He said if he can just bottle what I'd done, he'd be a very rich man. I replied that there was nothing to bottle. Just go play pickleball and your life will change. Mine certainly has. Today I'm a sponsored pickleball player and an ambassador for the game. I've won tournaments with my incredible partner and made friends all around the country. And because of that sport with the funny sounding name pickleball, and that is Mandy Harnoy.
Mandy, you're a rock star. You're a freaking rock star.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I found it. This was an article, by the way.
Oh, really?
But okay, I don't have it anymore. But okay, but Mandy, super awesome. We hear stories all the time, and we hear just general stories. It doesn't have to be as incredible as this, but
right.
We hear just players, just like how pickleball has changed their life for the better.
That's true.
I mean, any thoughts on just what Mandy's went through, or anything that you can relate to your students or anything like that?
I think one thing I tell about pickleball to people who don't know what pickleball is that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter anything. It does not matter a damn thing. You are more than capable to play pickleball.
Yeah.
And play pickleball at whatever kind of level or competitive level or, physical or fun level that you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes pickleball special. You know what I mean? I have seen people just go out there and play for fun just to lose some weight. I've seen people go out there to play competitively and beat everybody. There's going to be so many different types of pickleball. And one of the best parts about pickleball is the community.
Yeah.
I've said that before and I'll say it again. I have made so many incredible people because of this sport. And, Mandy, you are not the only one that has had their life changed because of pickleball. I would say pickleball has changed our lives.
Yes.
It's changed millions of other people's lives, but that's what makes pickleball so beautiful.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Cheers, man.
Cheers with my empty drink.
Cheers to decades more of this fun game with the silly name, pickleball.
Bam.
All right, Mandy, thank you for sending that in. Anyone, if you have an amazing story like that, again, fill out the form below in the description. We'd love to hear it. So now we are going to transition into the Red Rock PPA Open.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh. So what do we got here? We got I don't know, upset alerts or something.
No, we got a few crazy topics to talk about with the PPA Red Rock Open.
A lot of different things. And okay, I'm just gonna start off here. We're gonna go over the results quickly, but I'm just gonna start off here. Maybe this is the title of the video or something. I don't know, but it seems to me like when Ben Johns and Anna Leigh Waters are not there, when they just take a vacation or something. It's just a free for all.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Like it's literal
zombie apocalypse.
Literal chaos. We got partner switching.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, and then it's just unpredictable. Like we did our picks, and I think you did way better than me.
I think I did too.
But again, we just did not know who's going to come out on top.
I basically kind of went into it. I went to Vegas and I picked a few numbers and some of those numbers hit. That's literally what happened.
Yeah. So before we jump right into the results here, Caden, what are we going to start with first? Maybe we start with some of the controversies.
You mean more controversies?
Yeah. Good for the sport, bad for the sport, whatever you may think. But Caden, what do we see? What do we see happen here?
The Paddlegate never ends.
Paddlegate 2.1.
2.2.
Okay.
There were 2 of them this weekend.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mean, honestly, it's getting a little bit obnoxious now. But I mean, you want to play the sport fair, then I get it. You know what I mean? So we had 2 paddles that were not deemed illegal, but
questioned
by other players who were beaten by them.
Yeah, so we had Leah Jansen versus Salome Device.
Correct.
That was the first one. You guys can see some video. Salome beat Leah. Dude, I was watching some highlights, dude. Bro, I don't know. Like, I got to watch them again, but it really did seem like it was like those balls were coming off of Salome's paddle. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
They were flying off.
Yeah.
So whether it's delamination or not, dude, it was, I mean, she was hitting rockets, bro.
I mean, she hits the ball really, really well. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was a former tennis player.
Yes.
Like, obviously, everything that she's got from tennis transferred right into pickleball.
Yeah.
And,
especially
I mean,
singles.
she's really made it work in singles.
Yeah.
So, regardless, she hits the snot out of the ball. You give her a Vatic Pro, man, I'd be worried to play against her. You know what I mean?
That Vatic Pro's a bazooka.
That's a full-on shotgun.
Yeah.
Bro. Every time you hit it, you and then it goes bah, 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 bah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. I kind of love it.
Yeah, but dude, one thing that I did read though. So anyways, in that match, Leia challenged Device's paddle, and you know they already have
their
on-court tension with line calls and things like that, where they bring 17 judges per line.
Yeah.
So but
they got beef.
Yeah.
They got a lot of beef.
Yeah. But Salome, I read something. I don't know. Can you confirm this or not? That she weights her paddles so heavy that they're around 10 or 11 ounces. That's what I read somewhere. I don't know if that's true. Can you confirm? You were at the tournament.
I can't confirm that. I did not see any lead tape on her paddle.
That's heavy, man.
Hey, man, she got mass behind that paddle.
Yeah, but if that is the case, like if it is that heavy, I can see why maybe that. Dude, I'm just saying.
Maybe I should use a paddle that heavy for singles.
Dude, I mean, those balls were coming out, dude. Like it can't. I mean, some of those passing shots were super impressive, and maybe it's the altitude. I don't know if it makes the ball, in Utah. Did you seem like your drives? Because you played the tournament. We'll get to your results.
Yeah.
Caden, but
the altitude is real there. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Did the drives though seem faster? Or no, not really.
The drives seem faster, and
okay.
Believe it or not, I saw a lot of missed returns this weekend. A lot of missed returns this weekend.
Dude, I remember playing in the Tournament of Champions in Utah.
Yeah.
And actually, I did really well that tournament. That was a pro tournament. I think I got like 4th or 5th. But I remember that just flying. It's just weird, just flying.
Yeah,
flying off the paddle. So, altitude matters. Make sure if you go to a tournament and you have that, you get there and practice early. But so we had that. Then we had a little controversy between Rettenmeyer.
Yep, Travis Rettenmeyer and TM, man, Tyson McGuffin.
And gold medal winner Tyson Mack, and we'll get to that. But so something about I saw his Instagram thing. Obviously he said that he thought Tyson's paddle was delaminated or whatever. It was coming off a certain way. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. He got Did they take his paddle, by the way, on that one?
I don't think so, but I actually like Travis, but what I don't understand is that's also your company, bro. You know what I
mean? No. And that's what actually makes it more. Yeah, you're right. He's sponsored by Selker, so is Tyson. But, it makes it more real. I don't know. We'll have to see, dude. I don't know. and even what's going to happen with these, because, they're supposed to take these paddles and test them in a lab.
Yeah.
And I just honestly think that's just
I will say the 002 does have a different sound than any other paddle that I've hit.
Yeah.
But also, that being said, I think Tyson's paddle is a slightly different version of the 002.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the exact same as the 002. But I don't think Selkirk's not making any delaminated carbon fiber paddles. So that, I don't know, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me personally.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see what happens. And again, we did a whole episode on delamination. So go to our YouTube channel, check that out.
That was a good one.
And we learned exactly what delamination is and how it affects the paddle industry and things like that. But just going back to the whole delamination, even the whole system where you have to, you challenge a paddle, they take it from you, then they put it in a lab. It's just ridiculous. I don't know why they cannot test for it literally in 2 seconds right on the court. It just doesn't make any sense.
Pretty wild.
And then some other things too. It's like when, they ended up not taking the Vitesse paddle.
Yeah, right.
So she ended up playing with it the whole weekend. And that's the other thing. And someone said this, like, she can just swap out the paddle the next day. That it won't even be the correct paddle tested. She can just change it. So like, they're obviously the PPA and just the organization of pro pickleball, they're gonna have to figure it out.
I've actually seen Salome use like 4 different paddles in the last 4 different tournaments. So
it's like, oh, you want to challenge my paddle?
Yeah,
here's a legal one.
Yeah,
or I don't know.
Here's one I won't even use that anymore. I'll just use this one.
Salome, you've had a lot of controversy. If you want to come on the podcast, just let us know. You want to defend yourself, kind of like in that transition, defending those blocks there.
That's right.
Okay, so what else did we have going on there?
Yeah,
that was a paddle controversy.
A little bit of paddle controversy. A lot of mix-ups in partnerships this weekend. We did see a bunch of different names on the medal stand. Including probably the biggest PPA gold medal ever won, I would say.
Okay, well, we will get to that. I guess we're going to get to that right now.
Let's
do it. We're going to jump in. We're going to just start with men doubles pro here. Just a professional men's dubs.
Yeah, baby.
Then we got, just really quick, Tyson McGuffin and Brendon Long for gold.
That was Tyson McGuffin's first gold medal in men's doubles since 2021.
You know what's a stat that actually surprised me is ridiculous? This was Tyson's first ever double gold. He's never double
on
gold.
The PPA.
Ever.
You're right.
Like that's actually.
That's right.
That's actually incredible, and that actually goes to show you that Ben Johns and others are so dominant. But shout out to T-Mac, Tyson. Still got to have you on the podcast, buddy. Still waiting. But Brendon Long, gold, Deckle Bar, Colin Johns, silver, and Riley Newman and James Ignatowich for bronze, which was my gold pick.
Yeah.
And man, did they disappoint me a little bit.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Brendon Long, let's just talk about that guy for a second, because that guy went from just another professional pickleball player to probably the hottest man in pickleball.
Dude.
In the last month. I mean, this guy literally took. Dude. I mean, he won bronze in men's.
Yeah.
And he won a gold in the APP Punta Gorda or Daytona, whatever one it was.
Can we just say most improved player then? Can we give him title?
We can give him that title for this year.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But after he won that gold medal in mixed against Paris and Hunter, guy went on to get picked up by an MLP team.
Oh, good pickup.
All right. Got picked up by an MLP team for the Challenger League. In that same MLP, got picked up by the Premier League. Right? Not only that, but he led both of his teams to huge victories.
Yeah.
All right. Then comes into this PPA.
Yeah.
Didn't really do a whole lot in mixed. No big deal.
Yeah.
Comes into men's with Tyson, who not only got dropped by his own partner
And coming off an injury, Tyson.
Crazy.
But
they go out there and they
destroy.
killed it. And that gold medal match, if you guys didn't watch that gold medal match, 13-11 in the 5th game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Guys and gals, comment below if you know Brendon Long's background. I want to know if he's a tennis player. I don't have that information. I've been searching around. I even looked up his name. If he's not...
You could have just told me to text him.
There you go. Okay. Okay, text him. But, dude, if he's not, he's got to be the top pickleball player right now that doesn't have a tennis background. But
I think he does. I think he does.
But I looked it up and I didn't find anything. But anyways, shout out to Brendon. Love to have you on the podcast too. And dude, Tyson, shout out to you. So again, let's talk about just the gold medal match there. They were down big, man. They were down big. So there was huge swings. I think game 1, game 2, game 3. Remember, this is 3 out of 5 PPA now.
Yeah.
There was huge swings. It was like blowouts, like 11-3 and then 2-11, things like that.
Yep.
So the 5th and final game, 3 out of 5, we saw Tyson and Brent. They were down like 9-5 or something like that.
So the first 3 games were blowouts, right?
Yeah.
So Tyson and Brendon won the first one handedly. Then Declan and Colin won the next 2 handedly. And then games 4 and 5 were tight.
Yeah. So again, Tyson and Brendon, man, they willed. I think they willed that win.
Yeah.
They willed it. And this is my first time actually studying Brendon's game a little bit. Obviously, it's the first time kind of really, really big level matches. But, dude, I was thoroughly impressed with his decision-making, his dinks, his attacks.
His drops.
His resets.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just all around. He's a good player, man.
The stud. Absolute stud.
Is he in Texas, by the way?
He is in Florida.
Oh, he's in Florida.
Yeah.
I wonder who's he. He
trains a lot with like Milan, Rain.
Okay. Don't even know that name.
Millie.
Okay.
You know Millie? No? Oh.
Okay.
Saying a Millie rock is some money dance.
Yeah.
She'll know what that song is. But yeah, he trains with like JW.
Oh, he does.
Georgia. I think he's got that group. But he's been a pickleball player for a little bit now. Like I've known him for the last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know he's been in. But again, Tyson, dude, you grinded it. You were super steady. You attacked at the right time. He was just super solid. I'm impressed, Tyson, man. Good to see you have that gold, buddy.
Yeah.
Deco and Colin, they played great.
They did. They really did.
They played great. Colin played the exact way he plays with Ben.
Yep. Well, and I think that partnership works because I think the closest player to Ben Johns is probably Deco.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if someone else would be closer than Ben Johns as a partner to Colin. You just need someone super aggressive who can really hug that middle.
Who can, cover a lot of court.
And so their chemistry was, was really, really good. Just Tyson and Brendon, they just had some shots at the end.
Is it safe to say that the Deckel Bar and AJ Kohler experiment is already over?
I think it might be safe to say.
Because who did AJ play with this tournament?
I don't know.
He played with Travis Rettenmeyer.
Oh, okay.
They did pretty well.
All right. So anyways, by the way, going back to the last episode, one lefty that we left out here was Rafa Hewitt in the top lefties. Rafa, sorry for forgetting you, man. Love to have you on the podcast sometime, but I'd put you in the top 5 lefties.
We didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then speaking of chemistry again, Riley Newman and James Ignatowich, first tournament ever. We got the two-handed backhands. Now, me and Caden were talking about this on the way to the podcast, and we were saying that this team could be a great team.
Yep.
Super great. Talking about chemistry-wise, I don't know if, I'm talking about mentality, if they were gelling.
I'll be honest. A bronze medal for your first tournament is not bad. Now,
yeah, I know. Well, I'll tell you what. I know they're I bet you they're both pretty.
They're not happy with it.
They're not happy.
I don't blame them.
Oh no,
I don't blame them. I think that's a team where no Ben and no Colin. I think that's easily like you play even that much better, and I think they're in the conversation for silver or gold, right? So
yeah. Who took them out, by the way? Did you see that?
Tyson and Brendon.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It was close though. It was tight. I want to say it was like 11-9 and like 12-10 or something. Or like, I don't wait, you can check, right?
Yeah.
Go up. It was go down.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
11-9, 13-11.
So again, I honestly think too, man, it would have been really close too with Newman and Ignatowich versus Deckelbar and Colin Johns. That would have been a fun one to watch too.
Wait, go up just a little bit. 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow. So Tyson and Brendon literally went 8-0 in games to go to gold medal.
Wow.
Go to the gold medal match on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday, sorry.
Yep. So gold medal match was 11-1, 3-11.
They won every game straight.
8-11.
2 games. Yeah. And then they went to championships Saturday and played more than half of their games on Saturday than they did on Friday.
Yeah, so really, really cool. And I guess this would be a good time here, Caden. I mean, we see your name here. So you played with one of the top 5 lefties in the world.
Bingo.
Rob Cass.
Yeah.
And the number 1 lefty in the world that doesn't have a tennis background. Rob Cassidy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
You know? But yeah, so you play with Rob Cassidy. You guys were in the main draw.
Yep.
And let's see, you guys played against Drew and Tyler.
First round, yeah.
First round, 11-2, 11-4. You won that one. Then you ran into the likes of Jay Delivier and DJ Young.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. We didn't have our best game there. But we did play on the grandstand court that was streamed on YouTube.
Oh.
So if you guys want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to. I actually felt really good on men's doubles day. So the 5-2 score maybe doesn't really quite represent itself as you see kind of just on score. But after this match, we ended up going to the back draw, and we ended up going 3-2 on the day. I think we finished 7th or 8th.
Who did you beat, if you remember, and who did you lose to in the final?
So we actually played. So we won our first, then we played Jay and DJ, and we lost our second. And then our third match, we actually played Craig and Kyle.
Third match, okay.
Yep.
Craig
Johnson and Kyle Kazuda.
You guys won that one?
We won that one. Believe it or not, we were actually down like 3-10.
Game to 15.
Game to 15, and we came all the way back.
Dude.
And I was actually telling Jordan right before this, and he said, whoa, save it for the pod. And I said, okay. So we were at 10-10. We brought it all the way back from 3-10. We were down 2-8 at the switch.
Okay.
And we kind of just pinched back. We put together 4 points at 3-10 to make it 7-10. We made it 8-10. They actually called a timeout. We came back in. We scored 2 more points, and it was 10-10. And we had this super intense point, and I was just dinking cross-court with Craig because, you know, Craig and his cross-court dinks, man. He just loves those cross-court dinks. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I sped one up down the middle. That was probably a dumb idea because Craig loves his forehand as well. He was sitting on it, and he went to go for the kill shot, which was absolutely smart. And I was sitting forehand thinking he was going to come back to my middle, and we kind of went at it for a second. I sat forehand on the second volley, and he went to my backhand, and I stuck my paddle behind my back, and I hit a cross-court winner on Craig Johnson. And after that, it looked like he was a baby, and I just took his milk away from him. And he was completely defeated, and we ended up beating him, and we gave him 1 point after that and beat him 15-11.
Wow. And Craig's a good friend of yours.
Craig is a great friend, so I can kind of talk that smack and but I'm playing him tonight at the Orchard, so that'll be fun. All right. And I'm sure he's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder from this weekend, and actually Kyle too. So it'll be good, but we won. We beat them, and then we played these Utah boys.
Did you? And then
I don't know him that well. One guy name was like Sterling, and I
did you beat him or no?
We did.
So who did you lose? Who did you finally lose to then? The second.
Tyler Loong and Tyler Kaching Loong and Callan Dawson. But
how was that? What was the score there?
I was ugly. It was hideous.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible. But the second guys we beat in the back draw, actually, we were down like 10-4 on those guys too, and then we came all the way back. so Rob and I had
not a bad
quite the day.
Yeah, not a bad showing.
Yeah, we went 3-2, and actually the second guys we beat in the back draw, they beat Connor Garnett and Hayden Patriquin right before us.
Wow. Interesting.
So it's pretty cool. Pretty wild.
Okay. Well, how is it playing with Rob? You know, one thing I know about Rob, dude, he's just a cool partner, I think, to have. And his energy, I think, is just really good.
Yeah.
He just pumps you up. And I don't know. What do you think about playing with Rob Cassidy?
I absolutely love playing with Rob Cassidy. Right now, that was obviously our first PPA that we played this year. I have played with him in the past. I played nationals with him last year.
Yeah.
I played a few PPAs and APPs with him last year, and now he is a signed PPA pro. So obviously we can only play PPA. And we played this one. We're going to be playing North Carolina within the next couple weeks.
Oh, you are?
We are.
Is that when Mr. Sock's debut is?
That would be correct.
Dude, that'll be cool if you get to play against Tyson and Jack Sock.
I'm going to turn Jack Sock into a stinky sock, bro. I'm going to turn that man stinky.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, we're playing together there. And then actually, believe it or not, when we were talking about, doing some camps in Colorado, I actually texted Rob in that process and said, "Hey, you want to play Denver too?" So we might play that one too.
All right, nice.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, Caden, 3-2 pro tournament, not bad. It's good that you didn't have to go into that dreadful qualifier.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
But yeah, cool, man. All right, so that was men's doubles. Good job, Caden.
Thank you. That was probably the best experience of Utah. I had a bad one too, and that it was the ticket from the cop. But I'll give you guys a little bit more info on that in just a second.
And dude, we gotta get you a camera.
That's
or something so that you can record your matches so that we can see these things here.
That's actually probably not a bad call.
Dude, I would love to analyze and break down. Like, you guys.
I will say I'm a little camera shy.
Yeah, I get it. I get it here. All right, so we're going to go men's singles pro, and we were in for a doozy here. Men's singles pro, shout out to Tyson McGuffin for the double gold.
Wow. Hey, I actually called this one.
Yeah, you called it. Tyson, I didn't pick you. I got to have more faith in you, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Tyson, great playing.
I don't actually, you know what? He's not even the 1 seed when Ben's not playing now.
Yeah, I know. Pablo Tellez for silver and Jade Olivier.
Pablo played
for bronze.
Out of his head.
Well, dude,
on singles day,
he
played so well.
Yeah, I think I chose Pablo for silver or gold. Maybe.
No, there's no way. Did you really?
Maybe I didn't. You know what? So I chose Federico for gold, and Connor Garnett took him down, dude. Actually,
I took Connor Garnett for bronze.
Yeah,
I took Connor Garnett for bronze.
So shout out to Connor G. He's played great. Tyson then took Connor down.
Go up really quickly.
And then, this is the.
Wait, a little bit more. A little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So, wow, Gabriel Joseph was back in the mix. Connor beat him too, man. Connor beat some top players, man.
Yeah, and then he got smoked by Tyson.
Yeah, well, it happens here. And then Zane Navratil. Okay, so we got a lot of
Actually, that's a guy right there, Brendon Lane.
Yeah, who's he, man?
If you guys don't know who Brendon Lane is, that guy is the real deal. He is a stud.
So is he a newer tennis player then?
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah. Look at Pablo Tellez, 11-8, 12-10.
Yeah.
Dude, Brendon Lane and Brendon Long. Dude, those are.
That gets a little confusing sometimes, I'll be honest.
Okay, so that was that. Shout out to Tyson again, another Selkirk sponsored player.
And Pablo.
Pablo Tellez, top 5 lefties in the world.
That's right.
And
who's in our top 5? Rob Cassidy, Pablo Tellez, Rafa Hewitt.
Pesa.
Pesa, Ryler DeHart.
Oh, I guess so. But there was one more.
Who are you forgetting?
I can't think of it now.
Oh, Tyler Loong.
Tyler Loong. Yeah. So the top 5 is
Tyler Loong
you got
and Ryler DeHart.
Yeah, you got to put Tyler. Tyler's
Guess,
definitely
right?
top.
Yeah,
he might be
for
top
sure.
3.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So there it is. And Jay, I feel bad. He hasn't won gold yet, huh?
No,
or,
not
did he do it one time? He's just gotten so close.
No.
But to look
silvers,
at
silvers, a
and
lot
bronze,
of bronzes.
Yeah, but you know what, Jay? That's just, dude, keep working on it, man. Jay, he's a great guy.
He is.
Jay, I met you last year in Mesa, and love to have you on the pod, man.
I hope you remember me. And
no, but Jay's a really awesome guy. He just goes to show you. I mean, he's really consistent, though. I know he hasn't pulled out a gold, but you see him on the medal stand all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to hop into mixed doubles pro, and we got Anna Bright and James Ignatowich. That was my pick.
I think that was my pick too, right?
Yep. And then Jesse Irvin, AJ Kohler, definitely not my pick for silver.
Nor Susanna Barnes.
And then Susanna Barr named Navratil, definitely not my pick on the medal stand. Shout out to Zane and Susanna for upsetting probably a lot of teams. We're going to go over that. And Jesse and AJ, wow, great showing there. Let's see this here. We got, our boy Riley Newman played with Andrea Coop.
Yeah.
And Irvin and Kohler took him down. And then, we got, look at even Susanna Barr and Zane Navratil took Anna Bright and Zane. No, but they took him to 3 games there.
No, I know, but Susanna and Zane took down Tyson and Catherine.
Yeah. So huge upsets here. And then also, so Lucy Kovalova, Deco Barr. What an interesting combination there.
Yeah.
But okay, so anyways, lots of great teams. Oh wow. Anna Bright and Ignatowich, huh?
In 3, man. It wasn't close.
So they kind of
they cleaned house, man.
Cleaned house there. We're gonna hop right into women's doubles pro.
Yeah.
We got I don't know if it's upset alert or just, I don't know what to call this, but I would say it is.
I think I would too.
Megan Dizon, is it Dizon?
Shahan Dizon, yeah.
Shahan Dizon and Etta Wright for the women's gold. If you guys didn't see that match,
I actually called them to get silver.
If you guys didn't see that match, it was an incredible one against Leah Jansen and Elise Jones. So
I think I had it flipped. I think I said Leah and Elise for gold, and Megan and Etta for silver.
So, and then Lucy Kovalova, shout out to her, and Callie Smith for bronze. But what did you see in the women's final? You were there, Caden. Again, these are 2 teams that have not won gold yet. Is that right? Leah and Elise, right? They haven't, right?
No, you're right. They've had a few silvers this year. Yes. But
so, dude, obviously, I don't think a lot of people thought Megan Dizon and Etta Wright had a shot at gold.
I had a feeling. I just had this gut feeling.
But dude, what did you see? Any takeaways from the women's doubles match? Because it went 5 games.
Yeah, no, it was intense. I think the biggest thing was, you knew Leah and Elise were gonna test Megan's consistency. That was the biggest thing. All right, because Megan has every trick in the book. She knows exactly what she's doing. The biggest thing is she's got just such a poppy paddle that every now and then she can't control it. You know what I mean? And I think it helps that she was playing in her home state and she knows exactly what to do and where she needs to do, where she needs to go. But
Megan?
Yeah,
she lives in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And Etta.
And Etta and Elise.
They probably all practice with each other, don't they?
Oh yeah. But it's funny. I watched Elise play on Friday, and I swear I don't think she missed the ball.
On this.
I was watching her play against the Brasha sisters on Friday, and I swear I don't think I saw her miss a ball.
Dude, Elise. I mean, not Elise.
No.
Oh yeah, Elise. No, she's a freaking baller, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. So yeah.
Yeah. It was an intense match. I mean, it's so funny because like you get like 2 or 3 games that are super tight, and then you get a few blowouts. But I mean, like every single match was pretty good, except for that obviously that 3-11 game and even maybe that 11-5 game. But every single match was pretty tight.
Yeah, really, really good. Shout out to some,
Megan. I honestly, I really like Megan. She's really cool. Really, really cool. So I'm happy for you, Megan. Happy for you, Etta. I know Etta used to play with Pesa, and of course, Pesa's my boy. So I'll be honest, I was kind of rooting for them.
Cool.
So I'm happy they pulled it out.
Awesome. Yeah, Anna Bright and Vivian David. I think that was who I chose.
I think that's who we both chose.
For
you're right. That's who we both chose.
Yeah, for gold or silver.
But then I picked Megan and Etta for silver.
Yeah, so lots of, the women's. I'm telling you, when Anna Leigh Waters is not here, there is, there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the ladies there. Really, really good. We're going to hop right into women's singles. And we got Catherine again, Peranto for gold. I think this is her second or third in a row, maybe?
She's on
fire
right now.
Silver, Salome Device. And bronze, Leah Jansen. What do we have to say here? I don't know. The final was not that close against Salome.
No, she's playing out of her head right now, man. It's actually pretty impressive to see.
Yeah. So and Catherine's playing with that
power air,
Invicta
power air. Yeah.
So man.
Since she switched from it, man, she's been.
And by the way, why don't you tell the little
dialed.
Why don't you tell the viewers here that you actually made a paddle switch?
I did.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I was formerly using the Halo, 13mm XL Halo, and I actually just switched to the Epic Power Air. Now, I'm going to be honest, I didn't make the smartest decision. I tried it last week on Tuesday, and I kind of just said, hey, you know what, I'm going to kind of give it a go, and I'll try and get a little bit more comfortable with it, and then once I do, I'll play a tournament with it.
Yeah.
And I kind of I taught on Thursday, and I got to hit a few balls while I was kind of teaching and stuff like that. And then I added a little bit of lead tape to it, and then I ended up driving to
Utah.
Yeah. On Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And on Thursday night, I went and played a little bit. And the first paddle I pulled out of my bag was that Power Air, and I said, "Okay, you know what? I'll give it a go. See how I like it."
So I don't recommend this, folks.
I don't either. Yeah.
Caden switched paddles right before a tournament.
Literally.
And you played pretty well, you said.
And I played well. Yeah, I actually really liked the paddle. It felt really good. It obviously has all the pop in the world. I would say one of the stronger suits in my game is my control and my resets. So I can kind of give a little bit more with a power paddle, while also still having pretty good soft hands. Mm-hmm. And I would say my resets and my control felt good. My drops felt good. My volleys felt good.
Well,
thirds felt good. Yeah, it was just a good feeling paddle. I liked it.
Good, man. Good. And that was the Invicta. Power Air Epic.
Epic. Yeah, I like the smaller hitting face.
Okay.
Less mishit.
That's a great paddle. I'm currently using the Halo 16mm. So again,
wait, you're not using the 003?
I'm going back and forth.
Okay.
And Selkirk 003. If you'd like any of those paddles, check the description below. We have a link there. You can purchase it. So, but yeah, man. Anything else on your notes there that you would like to get to? Because did we get to everything here?
Yeah, we did. I would say personally, if you guys are in the Utah area and you guys are on the freeway, don't drive 79 miles per hour in a 70. You will get pulled over by a state trooper.
79 in a 70?
I got a $130 ticket from a state trooper for going 79 in a 70.
Are you sure you were going 79?
That's what it says on the ticket.
Oh, he probably lowered it, dude. You sure you weren't hitting like 89?
No, I'm positive I wasn't going 89 because when I saw him, I slowed down.
After he gunned you.
Well, I will say, I thought the speed limit was 75. So I was going like 85.
So you were going 85.
Yeah.
Oh.
but even like you like, okay.
Dude, you were going 85 in a 70.
I'm from Sanford. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, I thought it was a 75 because literally a mile before I got pulled over, it was a 75. And so that's what I saw. And then I put my phone down because obviously I'm not trying to text and drive. Right. So I like saw that it was 75. So I just put my cruise control on 85. And then like, as I saw him, I slowed down. I slowed down to like 78, 79 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like they're not going to flag me for going 4 miles per hour over the speed limit. But then he was like, oh, well, you know.
Dude, so how does that experience work? So you saw the lights behind you and where you're like.
Well, no, I saw them. They were pulled over. There were 2 of them, right?
Okay.
On the freeway. And so I saw them and I slowed down and then I passed them. And like next, I was on the phone and I just like look in my rearview mirror and there's a cop like flying. And I'm like, well, he's in my lane, so I'll get over and like get out of the way for him. And pulls in right behind me, flashes his lights, and I'm like, bro, I literally had 8 minutes left of my drive.
Is this your way to the venue?
Utah? Yeah, I was literally 8 minutes away from the facility. I was about to meet Rob, and I was so ready for that drive to be over. And then I ended up just sitting in my car for like 20 minutes while this guy looked at my ID, he looked at my driver's license, he looked at my registration. I was in a different car. I wasn't in my Tesla.
Oh, wait. Why?
I was in Paige's car.
Got it.
And she has Kentucky license plates. So
that might be.
So yeah, it was just a great experience.
Okay. So, Caden,
we learned our lesson.
Strategy driving tip here.
Strategy driving tip.
Slow down.
Just drive the speed limit, damn it.
Or just stay within 5 or 7 miles over.
Like I said, I'm from California and like now I live in Arizona. Here in Arizona and in California, cops don't care if you're speeding like 10 to 15 miles per hour over the speed limit.
15 is a different. That's the.
No, they won't allow it if you go 20. If you go 20 over, like if you're going 85 and a 65, they will pull you over. But if you're going 84, 83, you're fine. I'm telling you, I've done it.
Don't listen to that, kids.
Okay.
I would stay within 5 to 7 miles over. That's the range. I think that's acceptable.
5 to 14 is fine. I go 79 miles per hour in a 65.
Yeah.
I'll go 83 every now and then.
80, okay.
You know?
Well, you know what? We'll keep you updated as the podcast keeps going. We're gonna just count how many tickets Caden gets, and then he might lower his threshold. So comment below, how many miles per hour do you go above the speed limit? What do you think is acceptable? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
What
else can we ask the viewers?
Whichever one is the highest, that's where I'm moving next. If you're allowed to go 30 miles per hour over the speed limit somewhere, let me know.
Dude, you just need to move where the Autobahn is, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe I just need to be a cop.
Yeah.
So no one can ever pull me over.
Yeah. Okay. So, again, that was a good show. Thank you so much for watching. Any last thoughts, Caden?
No.
Anything else?
I love you guys. If you guys are interested in watching my match for Tuesday Night Pickleball in the Arizona Pickleball League, watch TNP.com.
There you go.
I will see you guys soon in North Carolina to teach a clinic. And actually it's not North Carolina, it's South Carolina. But I'm playing in the North Carolina Open and I'm playing in the Cincinnati Open right after. So see y'all soon.
All right. Thanks so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, sir.